Welcome back to the It's Not That Serious podcast, where business gets real, laughs get loud, and absolutely nothing is off the table. Today we're sitting with Ashley Patterson, an absolute force in the real estate industry, a mogul in the making, queen of multiple revenue streams, and mom-to-be, showing us how she makes it all look so easy. Thanks for joining us today, Ashley.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
You hit me back so fast.
I know. I was like, oh my God, yes.
And then you're like, here's my phone number. No, yeah. I don't even know why I don't have my Instagram notifications on. So I was like having to check, is she going to answer me? And then you're like, here's my number. Let's go. And then I was like, it's 2 days from now. And you're like, fine, done.
Done and
that's
done.
an entrepreneurial thing, the yes. They say yes, make it happen vibe. But
I make my own schedule.
That's true. Yeah. But anyways, I wanted to lead in with a little bit about you and your businesses, how you got started. So you just want to give us a little bit about Ashley?
Sure. So I actually went to university. I studied psychology for 5 years. I did my honors there and I wanted to continue to do my master's. But I ended up getting into real estate with some influence of my manager at the store I was working at the time. And I was 26 when I started real estate and just turned 41. So
yay,
going on.
Congratulations. That's a long time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I'm not from here. So it took a while to kind of get my business going.
Those are going. When I turn on open Instagram, it's sold. Ashley sold. Ashley sold again. More Ashley sold. Ashley and this person sold. Yeah. It's literally you're selling all of Halifax. From my perspective.
This year, thank you. This year has been incredible. We're probably on par with 2021, which was
oh wow, COVID years.
Yeah.
So big years.
Good, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But bigger prices.
Yes.
Yeah, way bigger. Way bigger, yeah.
So
the money returns.
Yeah. Yeah, that was been good. It's been good. I'm very thankful. So in real estate, you have to take your mandatory courses every year.
That costs $8 trillion.
Yeah, to stay safe. Yeah. And I remember in one, it was about social media. And this was before social media got big. I was always Snapchat everything. And then I would put it on Facebook.
Do you have Snapchat?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really know how to use it anymore. I was good back in the day when it first came out, but now I don't.
Because maybe that's the difference in the year. I'm 42. Snapchat, I'm
never got it.
No idea.
No,
can't do it.
I would do it on Snap and then save it and then just put it on all my other platforms.
Yep.
Okay.
And then 1 year for Halloween, I dressed up as the Snapchat queen. And anyway, so it was, but they used me as an example in the class.
Hey?
Yes. Okay. But then when COVID hit, social media became more,
was the way to connect because you couldn't go out.
Exactly.
Building relationships in real estate was always through networking.
Yeah, exactly. Which I did a lot of. Yeah. So I knew downtown Halifax very well, but I built a great business from it, so I'm not complaining. But
that's amazing. Yeah. So you have a real estate business,
yes,
but I see lots of other things going on. We have financial advisories. That you'd class the title.
So we do. So it's World Financial Group. So it's a business in itself. So as you grow your team, you get your promotions, but it is financial advising. But really, World Financial Group, it's so different from any other financial advisor. When we sit with families, we holistically look at everything. So I've had, and it's actually goes hand in hand really well with my real estate. So I had clients come to me several times this year. They're like, look, we want to get into a new house. They're in an existing one. But we can't afford more than say $1,200 a month or something. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, well, is this a cash flow thing? So we sit and we look at everything. So what happens is when you have the equity in your home, it allows you to pay off all of that debt, freeing up cash flow, get them into the new house. You're saving X amount of money. Then we look at, some mortgage insurance is not good. Don't buy it from the bank. So life insurance actually protects your family. So a lot of people don't realize that life insurance isn't for yourself. It's to protect your family when you're gone. So we look at income replacement. If you have little kids, how long do they need to get through school to feed them? So if we're looking at, a 5-year-old, okay, well, kids are living at home now until they're 25, 30 because it's very expensive out there. No, I don't. Not yet.
That's where he lives.
Yeah,
exactly. He came right in the door.
Right? Perfect timing.
Not talking about him.
Paid actor.
Mom made him wear that suit today.
I love that. Looking sharp. Yeah. So they're happy. So we got them into a new home and we sold their other one, and it just now they're properly protected. And yeah.
But it's also like
a
to
good
be able to
feeling.
have
Yeah.
that conversation, because a lot of real estate agents have relationships with us because they can't have that or don't know how to have that conversation
Exactly.
about sort of how to get you in the more expensive home, what you can afford, not making somebody go house poor or whatever the
Yeah.
sentence is, the saying
All
is.
that.
So you can offer all of that
Mhm.
rather than having, some people
Yeah.
having to have a bunch of other professionals join the equation
One
to
step
decide.
shop.
And I'm always going to say no.
Yeah.
So you will find a way, but I did this
I'll make it
last
work.
week with someone. They got approved for what I thought was pre-approved for
Mhm.
way more than they could afford.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, listen, I want you to have a home, and your real estate agent's going to hate my guts. But honestly, I can't co-sign on this. If you guys
Yeah.
go ahead and you do it, I'll do everything I can to make it work on paper for you. But like, do you just want to have a house? Because you're
Yeah.
going to have nothing else.
No
Yeah.
extra money.
And, she obviously didn't end up buying it, thank God. But
Mhm.
sometimes, not having that balanced conversation can put people in bad situations.
Yep. And well, that's it. And that's why it's kind of like, and, maybe not every single realtor, but I know a lot of realtors who do care about their clients. They should be having that. And if we always say like, stay in your lane. So if something's a lawyer question, then we're going to say, yeah, the lawyer. Something's, well, we'll let the home inspector figure that out. And same thing is, when it comes to your finances, well, you need to really talk to your mortgage broker and figure out like, look at what you can afford, not just what you're approved for.
Right.
Yes, for sure.
That could be two very different
Yep.
Exactly.
conversations.
Yeah.
So you also have a construction.
Yes, I do some renovations.
You're like every time you started real estate, and then every time you needed something, you went and got licensed. Like, I
Basically.
needed
That's the way to do it.
financial,
No, that's
I
the way
need
to do it.
construction. How good, like you
Yeah.
just became everything.
Yeah.
To sort of really support everything around real estate.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So is that sort of how it flows? Like, does a lot of construction come from real estate, or did it start that way and maybe it's
Yeah. So we started in 2020, which was good because nobody was traveling. And they're like, oh, let's do a bathroom reno. And they put all their money into renovations. But really, it was just, my dad always did renovations. So I was always kind of in that environment growing up. So I really love that. Like, I'll sit there. Like this summer, my dad built a new wraparound deck on his house, and he did like every single panel along the deck was just, he cut, I don't know, it almost looks like seashells really, but it was just the way he did it. It was really beautiful. And I just grew up with that. So he could like build a house, like he did build the house that he's in now.
amazing.
So I just had that in my blood, I guess. But I'm like, I can't do the work. And I feel like, I want to be one of those women that can do the work. And I was like, nah, this is my idea. Make it look pretty.
You know what? I just bought a property.
Yes.
I thought that I wanted to be like hands-on, paint,
Yeah.
rip out walls.
It's a lot.
But I've lived in an apartment my whole life, and
Yeah.
we're still like, we're gonna stay there. The plan is to rent this as an Airbnb.
Yeah.
And I went down there and I turned on the heat, and I didn't know about like that smells like the place is burning down.
yeah, you-
I
Electric
will
heat.
never be an Airbnb construction builder person. Nothing. I was like, call the plumber, call the electrician.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. Like
Yeah.
it
All the
terrified me.
trades.
But the fact that that I sucked that much.
Yeah. Just start turning the heat.
Someone
like-
will die in my Airbnb. Clearly, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I really had the same dream. I was going to be your dad. And
Yeah.
no, I'm not.
Be your dad.
I'm not.
Be my daddy.
So how much time do you spend on like each? How does it like flow? Like I see you really front and center in your real estate.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
like how does the advisory stuff just come up as needed? Do you have a book of clients, or does your team manage it? Like how do you manage all of this?
I guess they kind of just all come as they come, and I figure it out because I don't do it alone, right? So I have, my mom is actually my admin for the construction, the renovations. So it's lovely because then she's at my condo every Monday to Friday between like 10 and 2.
Perfect.
Yes. And
She's gonna have dual duties. then.
Yes,
she
will.
well, it's going to be like a triple duty because she's already there with Mikey, like my little
Okay.
puppy.
So, empty, baby, and
So it's like,
so she admin for everything that like
No.
Ashley, okay, just construction.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Lisa's my licensed admin. So she's your full-time realtor as well.
Okay.
And then she does all of kind of like our paperwork for the team and some of our marketing and that type of stuff. So yeah, just, I don't know, like your schedule is different every single day.
Absolutely.
And you just time block right?
it.
And then like when a renovation comes up, well, I go and I meet with the clients and I do the quote. And then it's like, okay, after we give them the quote, if they go with us, which most of the time they do, it's like, okay, like let's go pick out tiles, or like the guys will be there for demo this day. And it's just kind of,
It just
all
it
goes in
works.
the day.
It works.
Yeah.
So would you say you work like 9 to 5? Like what?
Definitely not.
What's 9 to 5?
Does anyone
What's that?
refer-
What is-
I
yeah.
was trying to be optimistic.
What is 9 to
Does
5?
anybody actually what's a week look like for you?
So I try to take like one day off. However, I might end up like having to do like something, whether it's like a viewing, but
Is a day off like not leaving the house?
or just like doing something that's not work in general, like
Okay.
going out for lunch or like walking on the boardwalk. And
Okay.
I try to go to the gym every morning. So when I get up, I'm just, you check your emails, you check your messages,
Plan your day.
plan your day.
Yeah.
And then I go to the gym and I'm just kind of like working from there as well. And then usually whenever my first appointment starts, like they usually start around 11, because I like to kind of just do my thing and make sure I get my me time in the morning. And then like you're still working.
I'm like the sharpest in the morning, like for the
Yes.
technical work that I
Yeah.
do. So I think you are a morning person too. You
You
answer
I
me
have
at
to-
6:30.
Yeah, I have to get to
Oh.
the gym first before I even start my day. That's the
Or
thing.
else it
If
doesn't
not,
get done.
I can't even function
I
at work.
gotta
No.
go later
No.
in the day. The kids like they
Yeah.
just they run the morning.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
I like the best technical work and like thought and like I'm most clear until about 1. And I got nothing.
No, for sure.
From 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Like if you get your taxes
Fog
done by me
brain.
from 1 to 3, you're going to jail.
So you're gonna have a lot.
We're all
of money.
going to jail. The brain fog enters, so I try to do like meetings, even though I like getting them over with.
Yeah.
You don't want to like take away your best technical time.
Yeah.
So it's weird, but so you get up, you plan your day.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, and it kind of depends on the day. So like for like the financial side, every Tuesday we go to the office for 6:37 at night. Because that's when like our guests come to see kind of our business presentation and what the company, like who we are and what we're about. And then we also offer like a How Money Works education class. Kind of like just talks about taxes and the rule of 72 and all this good stuff. And then Saturday mornings at 10, we do the same thing. So
Who you are, bitch.
yeah, it's like guaranteed Monday to Friday. I'm always doing something. So I try to take Sundays, but I know those are like the open house days. But
Yeah,
right? Early in my career, I did a lot of open houses, but yeah. So yeah, it's really just
So
all-
do you
all
like
day, every day.
subscribe to like the whole like balance and boundaries sort of?
No, I'm really bad for that. No,
Okay.
I'm bad for boundaries, but I
Yeah.
do find balance. Like, you have to, right? So it's, I don't know. Sometimes I'll be on my phone with clients until midnight, but other days I might be done at 6. So
Right.
I think a balance for me is making sure I go to the gym, and I like to travel. So
Yep.
as long as I get to travel a few times a year, like that's,
You need that.
and you're still working from the beach, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like-
Yes,
I don't so much like concern myself with like balance, like I must this, that. If I'm doing something and I'm not happy, something's not
That's
working.
it. Yeah.
I love my job. I love my
Yeah.
kids. I love being home. I love traveling. Like if I'm doing something that I hate, which like actually came up in my business recently, so we've
Mhm.
sort of remodeled a little bit to accommodate what I want to do, what I love, and then having someone else take care of the part of it that I don't love.
Yep,
When I
delegate.
was feeling like I hate being there, then that balance is off.
Yeah.
But as long as I'm happy, I don't care if the days are 100 hours.
That's it.
Like it doesn't
Yeah.
bother me
Yeah.
at all. How many hours a week are you working?
I don't even count. I don't even count.
No,
Just because, like you said, when
Till
you
shit's
when you
done.
go to the gym, you're still working. When I'm
Yeah.
on the treadmill, or when
She
you're
answers
calling
me on the
up,
phone at the gym.
You know,
Yeah.
so I
It's just
all
it
the
all
hours.
rolls into
Yeah.
it. Like it's all the hours.
all the hours, yeah.
All the hours.
Literally.
It's true.
So will
I'll
you
just be like, sorry, I'm out of breath. I'm just working out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
they're just happy you answered
But I'm here.
anyways.
Yeah,
People don't
exactly.
care.
Yeah.
They're more than happy that you
Yeah.
answered wherever you are. Okay, so you have a new venture
I do.
coming.
A little fourth biz.
Little fourth business. What do you think life looks like
Oh my God.
adding baby?
Well, I'm like, I think okay. So I do have a girlfriend who's had a couple babies. I'm like, so like, how long did it take you to get back to work? Like, when did you start showing houses again? And, like, thankfully I have people I can reach out to if I can't, but I've never done this before. I don't know how long it's going to take to feel good. And I think everyone would be different anyway.
Absolutely.
But with saying that, I've worked Christmas Eve, I've worked Christmas Day. I'm like, I'll be in the hospital bed in labor going like, yeah, no worries.
Yes, 5 more pushes.
On my
5
phone.
minutes.
That's
So yeah, it's
awesome.
really hard to say. But again, just like I have so much support.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, like,
So you're not
I
like,
couldn't have
I'm
done-
taking a year off.
No.
The businesses will run themselves.
No.
I definitely have a business owner that I work with that was like a huge goal for her this year.
Mhm.
She had a baby. She got pregnant a little bit earlier than she planned. And then she wanted like the hard, cut off. I want the year off. I put the team in place. And I think she might be 3-4 months and she's back.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like
withdrawal.
financial or withdrawal, but
Yeah.
I think that we're not like, you're not really built like when you're an entrepreneur to like the
Yeah.
stay-at-home mom thing.
Yeah.
Not appealing to
No.
me
No.
at all.
No.
I'm
I'm like,
how quick can I get back to it?
yeah,
Because
exactly.
it's kind of my identity. Like, yes, I'm a mom, but
Yes. Yeah. And it's just like, but you're also like this
All
boss
these
lady that's
things.
like, I got to go do my thing, right?
Right. I just started a podcast.
Mommy's got to go do her thing.
Yeah, figure it out.
That would be like when we're older, obviously we pass away, I'd be like, your mom was a legend.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I'm here for it.
I do. Like, I really tried. Like, even when I had my last baby, he's only 10 months younger than the middle child.
Okay.
So I didn't qualify. I was still an employee back then
Yeah.
for mat leave. So I had to go back to work for a little bit to get mat leave. And everyone was like, that must be so hard to leave your little. I was like, well, I must be the devil. It didn't bother me at all. I was happy. Ming take care of him. Like, I didn't tell everyone that I felt that way, but I did feel okay to be at work and, doing my own thing.
Yeah.
I did take mat leave, towards the end of it because I was like, I'm free money. It's the only free
Yeah,
money you get is
exactly.
EI. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Right?
Um,
like you
but-
pay in for how long? Take it when you can get it.
Exactly. I did not feel like I'm such a horrible mom for
Yeah.
working, and I hate that sort of vibe that
They're
happens.
good. They've survived.
Have you met them? No,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just joking.
No, the videos are hilarious.
Thank
They're so
you.
lovely.
They're something. Have you had a burnout before?
I did.
Yeah.
And it was
just one?
earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was earlier this year.
Oh, recent.
But I just kind of pushed through it. But there was days where it was like, I don't want to get out of bed. And I just had to.
Yeah.
Because
Have
what
you ever
else was I going to do?
I think I've had like 5.
Yeah.
Like I had one early on and it's like, I think it comes from, it's more mental, right? It's
Mhm,
not the physical. Like I sit at a
Yeah,
desk all
exactly.
day. But the like, just it catches up with you and you don't process, you don't, do all the things, but it gets to where like sometimes, especially in the money side, like it is
It's
heavy.
exhausting.
I've had several.
And sometimes I find that I don't realize I'm burnt out until I'm sick, like
Yeah.
physically.
Mhm.
I have a
Yeah.
cold and I can't go anywhere.
Was the saying, you make time for your wellness or you'll be forced to make time for your illness?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm sick in bed today. Oh, no.
I have
Like,
a show
I'll
I've been
take it.
trying to catch up on.
It's like,
hilarious.
those are your vacations. I'm sick in bed.
If you had to pick one business, so you
Oh,
can only
God.
focus on one.
That's a tough one. I think that the renovations would be the last, but it's really hard to pick between. the
How
other
often
two.
do renovations go over budget?
Oh my gosh.
that's
Asking
good
for a
one.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since I'm not a builder.
It depends because some people have like the champagne taste on the beer budget, and it's like, well, I can't quote you exactly what you want for tiles if you haven't picked a tile yet. Like, do you want a budget tile that's $2.99 a square foot, or are you going like $14 a square foot? So it's really, yeah,
It's hit or
I'm
miss.
like, go to Centura. Oh my God, it's amazing in there if you are tiling.
I am
Like,
tiling.
Where did you say Centura?
Centura tiles are on Wright Avenue in Burnside.
Oh, Burnside.
Oh, yeah.
Burnside.
Or
has
talk to
all
my
the
girl
gyms.
Ada.
They
She's
do.
great.
They
Yeah.
do. It's a little intimidating over there. It's very industrial.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
going
over there
on
all the time.
I thought I was going to be building, but I'm
Yeah,
not. Even,
yeah.
I'm scared to go in the store. Like, what was I thinking?
I know. I'm like,
That's
I can't even
amazing.
turn on the heat.
What about? So okay, over budget, but
Yeah.
also what about like people not paying you? I feel like the construction
I've never,
really.
I've never had an issue with that.
It's just me.
For years.
It's just you.
No, honestly,
I'm asking that to every business owner. And if at the end of the day, everyone's like, no, nobody owes me money,
You know
then
what?
look out, collection.
It's really the opposite. Like, we've had people reach out that contractors have taken a deposit and have never come back.
That's
Whoa.
crazy. I'm scared of that. I think that's why I want to be a builder or to do my own
Yeah,
Airbnb
exactly.
stuff, like, because I
I'm not
don't
gonna
know enough
frick
about it.
myself over.
Yeah, so someone run with a deposit, or just that I wanted to learn it, because I'm getting quotes and I'm like, I don't know, sounds good, go ahead, like maybe $10,000 for a 2-piece bathroom at the end.
A little high.
For no
Probably
reason,
tone that
right?
down a notch,
Exactly.
but,
Yeah. So you don't have like receivables at the end of the day that like
Not
kind
really,
of.
no. They always give
Wow.
like to book the job. Like, if it's a few months out, I'll say, okay, 25% now to book it. And then once we're ready to start, I'll take the other 25%. And then just like once it's almost done, the other 25. And then when it's finished.
I am way
That's
too
good.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm way too nice. Yeah, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
I do need to do with the more money up front. I obviously, like, my business came from, this is what I'm good at technically,
Yeah.
but there's a passion side, and I do love helping people. But I'm very much learning in year 6. Like, it's kind of late for this lesson, but I am learning it, that perhaps folks know I'm nice and I will do things and sort of end up on the shitty side of it,
Yeah.
where my time wasn't compensated or compensated properly. I did a meeting. I won't say what exact date, so the person can't figure out that it was them. But I did a consultation. I supplied them with our bookkeeping template, did their corporate taxes, and I gave it to them half price because I knew that they were a startup. And then they hit me back with the email that's like, any chance you could discount this? And I already had.
half price.
I did. I wrote friends and family, right? Like, because I see their
Yeah.
financials.
Yeah.
I want to be like fair. And then you hit me with the further. And now, like, just the gut punch. Now I don't even want to work with them
Yeah.
at all.
And
Like,
what do you say
so
back to
then
that?
you write. Do you write back like, here's all I did. Hey, I started school in 20. Like,
Yeah, like,
you know what I
have-
mean?
Well, I
Yeah.
still need
What
to
do
pay
you
my
say?
student loan this month.
Like,
Yeah.
I got bills too. Like,
Yeah.
and I also know that they make a good income. Like, their business is one thing, but they have a job where they make great money. And like, to me, you and your business are the same. I don't care if you're like trying to say that, well, the business isn't profitable. Then I don't know, do your
You're
own
using that
taxes.
account.
Yeah, send me that money. But yeah, I have been learning that lesson hard a lot lately, which is my I don't call her my assistant. She's like literally runs my life, Madison.
Yeah.
And she like had to go apeshit on a client for us this morning, like 4 different times. And I'm like,
it's not you.
I need
delegate
you,
that to
Madison.
yeah,
someone
no,
else.
I don't delegate. She's like, this is how it's happening.
Yeah,
They're
that's good.
getting told. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I did send the tax return. I'm sorry, Madison. I'm so sorry. I thought about it, but then 10 o'clock came and I know he needed it. And do I still have a job? Yeah, no, I'm really bad at that. Okay, lesson check. I'm asking, make sure I ask everyone.
Yeah.
Do you have receivable? No, because they have to pay for it and
Yeah.
then you ship it.
Yeah. Well, I do have some like I have wholesale orders, but still the same. Like they.
But nobody, you don't like, you get paid,
No.
then you ship. Like there's,
Yeah.
or like, do you
No,
like cash
they
on
pay me
delivery?
first.
Nobody
No.
like terms. What?
No.
Man, this
And then
is-
with like real estate and financial, like I get paid like on a closing.
of course,
The brokerage. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I've never.
that just
you know,
doesn't even come
looking-
up in
no,
those
no.
situations. That's
But-
nuts. Okay. So I've recently gotten into like some real estate ventures. So we bought a property in October, and then we just bought another one this week.
Nice.
And I feel like
I don't know why I'm laughing.
yeah, let me talk to you. I know.
deets.
I feel like everybody works for the seller, because I've like really had to like have some conversations that like I will always have the uncomfortable conversation. I will. I hate asking people for money. It's like maybe a thing where I feel broke or something like that. It's not like it's like me begging. They think I can't pay my rent, so maybe it's like, but that's different.
I
like
get like that too.
I don't want them.
You
I don't
owe me,
need
and
your
I'm
money.
nervous to ask for my money.
Yeah,
That's weird.
yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe it's a little bit more about how I think they're perceiving me for asking for the money versus like I want them to think I'm rich. No, I don't. But whatever the
It's like,
reason,
I don't need your money.
whatever
It's
the
like, actually, I
reason.
do.
But I legitimately have been in like a couple of situations. So we bought 2, and then we had an offer on another one that fell through. And I felt like at every stage that I was kind of being coached to do what was best for the seller. and that would be at like the highest price, or take the deal, or don't ask for this, don't ask for that, because the seller pays. Like, yes, you don't get anything if I don't buy, but the higher the sale price, the better for the agent. So like I is it just me? Like, do you like to, have you heard that kind of feedback before?
Yeah, definitely. Like, there's definitely times where, okay, so
and it wasn't her, it wasn't you.
No,
Like,
no, it wasn't
like, I'm calling you out here now.
Right.
Talking in the third person. It was not you.
So essentially, I mean, when you look at it, the seller pays the commission out of the sale price. So technically, the buyer is still paying that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But it is like a loss on the seller's end of their final like net profit from the sale. But then the buyer looks at, well, then you need your down payment. You're paying for all of your inspections. And then the deed transfer tax and all your closing costs. So really the buyer has like more, like, I don't know, I'm like, sometimes I say it might balance out what each person has to pay. But with going to kind of like what you're asking, depends on the market. Like, was there multiple offers on the property?
No.
How bad? Yeah. Like,
there were no multiple offers. The sale price, it was original. No, I'm just joking. No.
And then, so what was like originally negotiated? So if something's been on the market for a few weeks and you go in like 50,000 under ask, most likely the buyer is like, okay, like, let's try and meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Right? And then if the seller is just stuck at like, no, we took 10,000 off, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, the buyer can just be like, okay, well, good luck. Let it sit on the market for another few weeks.
Yeah, that's my vibe right there. Tell the seller I said, like, I don't care. I'm not emotionally attached to this. This is intended to be a business. And I'm not getting into the, like, their feelings, my feelings. Like, my feelings is cutthroat. Like, I don't give a fuck. So, like, if you want me to tell... And that's like me tone down.
I wish I could be more like Stephanie. I'm such like a doormat. It's horrible.
You have to comment next time, but you can't get your receivables.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Okay, you wait for it.
No, okay. And like, I really don't, like, I'm not coming from the perspective of like attacking or picking on any real estate agent. I genuinely just felt like a little bit that I was like having to coach them. Is that like, do like, is that
depends on their experience, like how long I've been in the business, because there's always things that it's like, okay, well, how can we form our negotiating position, right? So it's like, all right, well, now the buyer's looking at the roof needs to be done in 3 years, or the hot water tank needs to be done. Like, and then there's cosmetics, which people can say, well, that's the buyer's own personal choice.
For sure.
Well, not really. Like, if you
still
have
costs.
like red shag carpet or like a pink bathroom, no, mind you, I might keep that, but that
Depending on the shade of pink.
Yeah, I just had a listing with a pink bathroom. I'm like, I want to keep it. Like, but
Carpet in the bathroom.
the deck needs to be done. It's kind of like, you want to kind of and so there's the other thing is like, well, you can't guarantee that after the home inspection they're going to take more money off. So I would say, let's point out what we know needs to be fixed. And then, of course, depending on who it is, or you get quotes, but I have the knowledge to be like, well, the new deck is going to be at least like 12 to 15 if it's this size or whatever, right? So you kind of put all those numbers into play. It's worked for me before. I'd be like, look, like, we're not going to come back on inspection with these items. The only thing is we haven't gotten in the attic and we haven't done the sewer line scope, you know? So it's just it depends on every situation's different, but you just try to negotiate what you can off at the time.
So the deal we're in right now, the seller was so angry about my offer. I'm like, good. That means I really did well. But they said they would appreciate that I not be nitpicky. And I was like to the real estate agent, you can't tell me this shit because now I'm fired up and I'm gonna be like, you have to like manage me. Like, don't get me going. Like,
some things you don't.
Yeah.
In our contract to disclose anything we know, you know, and it's like, sometimes you're like, should I mention that?
Okay, so all right, so she's not just necessarily getting me going. She is supposed to tell me. So they sent a message from the seller to their agent, to my agent, to tell me they wanted me to know they were not happy with me. And I was like, I was fired up.
I think that.
Okay.
But like, you know, it's more like any details that she knows, or if she's like, oh, I heard that they're willing to take this amount, like, you're supposed to know that, but I don't know. It's fair.
So
do you
maybe
like pitch your client out or like hurt feelings? Yeah, exactly.
Fair. I think they just enjoy the Stephanie show. Like, when I get going, it's funny. Okay, so you have a million businesses, baby come in, you know, like, I don't think 41's
You're all
old. I'm
crazy.
42. Like I think that it's the new 20.
Yeah.
That's what I tell myself and my back and my knees when I get up every morning. You're 20. You're 20. You're 20.
Do your stretches.
Yes. But what does wealth look like to you? Like you all this for what? All this for what?
So that's a big thing that we look at. So what I love too about World Financial Group is like the conferences that we go on. It's all about like, what's your why? Like, why are you doing this? Like, why do you want to build this life of financial freedom? And for me, well, I never had any kids before. So for me, it was my parents. Like, I'm an only child. I have 2 half siblings on my dad's side. They're 17 and 14. So I'm like, okay, well, what can I do to help with their education? So of course I started the
You work and help them.
Mhm.
That's adorable. Oh my God.
It's just
my
like-
brother can kick rocks.
Okay. Well, we didn't grow up together, so it might be a different story if we did, right?
Yeah.
But my parents both, as much as I love my mom working with me, but both my parents work full time, right? And it's just like they're 64. And like how, because another big thing that we talk about at WFG is preparing people for retirement, because most people can't survive on just CPP or old age security. So
Just
they're
like
working
literally
past
no
65.
money. Like I don't even think people understand how
It's
small those payments
The
are.
max you're getting is $1,500 a month. I'm like,
It's
what's that
insane.
paying?
And then most times it's not taxed and you get a tax bill that you can't afford at the end of like
Mhm.
CPP and OAS are like a disaster. They are what they are,
Yeah.
but they're not anywhere near what people hope or think that is
Yeah.
coming to them. And they're only really learning that like later in life. Like we're contributing to it all now,
Mhm.
thinking like I'm self-employed, like that's my retirement. No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Nope.
Not at all.
No.
Not in close.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of like made me think of like, well, if I don't sell a house, I don't get paid. So it's, you know, like,
Yeah.
how many months of savings do I have to get through with this baby? I don't get mat leave. If you need to take, or if you get laid
Sick
off
day,
and we
anything.
die,
Fired from a client. Like
right?
there's no safety net.
No, there's no short-term or long-term disability. That's why critical illness is so important
Yeah.
in disability insurance, because for someone who are self-employed or business owners, well, how are you protected? How are you paying your bills if you can't work? So that's a big thing there. But yeah, kind of back to like, I want to show my parents the world. Like I took my mom to a conference in Vancouver last November. Then we rented a car, drove to Whistler because she's never seen Whistler. And I've only seen it because of WFG. We had 2 conferences there one year. And I was like, I want to take my mom there. And then my uncle and his wife, my aunt, live in the Yukon. So we actually ended up changing our flights. They flew us to the Yukon, stayed there with them for like 3 or 4 nights.
Amazing.
And then flew home. And then my next bucket list is I want to take my dad and his girlfriend to Scotland, because we're all like Scottish roots on my dad's side. So that's on the list.
You know, honestly, when you first started, I was like, I'm a horrible person. I haven't even taken my mom to Truro, but I do want to show my kids the world. So
Yes.
I've been doing
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
I feel all right because I was ready to
Yeah.
end it for a minute there.
Yeah.
We were done. You're the saint. I can't be in the same room as you. But no, we're okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
same
awesome.
with like friends, right? Like I'm still single, and we do our YQM and our Cavendish, and it's like I want to get like a VIP table, and you know, I want to do what
I do
can,
that.
have
I
like
do
the
that.
best experiences.
Yeah.
And if someone can't, you know, like if I'm going to a concert, I'm like first 5 rows. Like I'm not way back there. If I can't see you and I'm going like this,
And you have to look at
what you want to.
the
If I'm
screen to
watching
see
on the
them.
screen, I'm
No,
staying
I'm too
home.
Far, yeah.
Like, that's
I
crazy.
took my mom to Fleetwood Mac. We were second row center, like Stevie Nicks. Like it was amazing. My dad, Bob Seger, I think we were like third or fifth row center. That was a while ago. But yeah, I'm just all the concerts, like AC/DC's coming, and I'm like,
That's
oh, dad would
awesome.
love that, you know? So it's just like, and things that connect me with them. Like we're big music people. So growing up to,
I think the experiences thing is like, it's every time I'm at a concert or like certain times on a trip, I'm like, I made it. Like I did
Yeah.
it. Like this is the feeling I was chasing.
Yes.
Like all that work for this vibe. Even though
Yeah.
Deja fell asleep at Beyonce, she was there.
Oh my
Slumped in the chair. No, I had her wine. I was like, good. Now I can twerk. Now I can twerk. Mom duty over. So I was like, almost happy. Beyonce though. Beyonce, she fell asleep. So it was late at night. Like Deja, like when her day is over, her day is over. And she lets you know. I don't have to tell her to go to bed. She's like, I'm done. I'll see you tomorrow. Like she's yeah.
Taft.
And I like 50 Cent. We went to 50 Cent,
Yeah.
and I didn't tell my husband that that's my celebrity crush. So I was like, is he gonna see me? Is he gonna see me? And I see him looking at Ming because he's 100 feet taller than everyone in the crowd.
You're like,
And I'm like, I think your 50s crush. But the concert thing. Do you do concerts?
Yep.
Yeah, and you travel.
Yeah.
You travel a lot. Actually, in your little resort ass.
You know what? I don't really do much resorts. I think I've only done maybe 2 or 3.
Since I've known you,
Yeah.
the
I'm
resort
more like
vibe.
cruising, like
Yeah.
Like the boat cruise.
Yeah,
Oh,
cruise.
I
Let me
went on
cruise
one, and I was like, I don't know if these
I
are for me.
vertigo. I can't. Not
No.
happen.
They're so big, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Imagine though, like you don't know, like how like vertigo is connected to like your balance in your ears.
Mm.
So I don't know until I'm on it, and then I'm on it, and
You're
I
on
go
there for
into
a week.
Yeah, you have
You're on there for a
episodes.
week.
Yeah,
Going
no,
on
I'm
there.
not. Like, I'm jumping.
Yeah.
But I
No,
love
that's-
cruises because you can get. So I went on my first cruise. I think it was like 2 Novembers ago, maybe. So my girlfriend lives down in Fort Lauderdale, so I went to visit her, and then we left out of Miami. We went to Bimini, like in Bahamas, and Honduras, where I helped solve, which was really cool.
Yes.
Awesome.
But it's not like it's very
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you have to
it's not
stay in the
nice.
port. It's not. Yeah.
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 And then Playa de Maya in Mexico,
Yeah.
which I've been to Mexico several times, but it kind of just gives you the ability to be like, oh my God, I would totally come back here. And you
That's
can book a trip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you're on a
That's right.
cruise. You know, you're in Bahamas. You go. You come back on.
You go to sleep,
eat,
you wake up.
girl, yeah, you know, you party. You wake up and you're in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's like it's.
That's
you know,
cool.
it's the
That's
best.
cool.
It's the best.
It's like time
Yeah.
travel.
Yeah, literally, literally. Yeah.
It's very efficient.
Yeah.
And there are times like when you're on a resort, like by day 7, you're like, you know what, I could be home now.
Yeah.
I could be home now.
Yeah.
Especially if my kids
Rooms
are
are small.
they can be home now.
Yeah.
But absolutely. Okay, so we talked about burnout, sort of future stuff. Like in terms of like hard lessons and like what you've learned coming through this. You've been in this for like a long minute. Like and I'm really hoping that we're not like, you know, just work hard. Like
No.
like maybe the hardest client lesson you've learned, or like just something really painful like that business has taught you, but you're so glad you went through it.
Yeah.
I don't think it comes from the client side.
Okay.
I think it comes from so I have a coach, or I've had a coach for several years, and she helped me personally and professionally. So I have a very hard time saying no.
Are we talking life coach, business coach?
Both.
Okay.
She
She's
was
like all
intertwined,
like
all the
Ashley,
things.
all things Ashley.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one thing that she told me, and I will never forget it, is don't hire if you can't fire.
Ooh.
And I suck.
Firing
at
is hard.
both.
Fire is hard.
Yeah.
You know, I had an
True.
assistant once. She said to me on the lines of the no thing.
Mhm.
She's like, "Oh, you kind of say yes to everything," and I was like, I felt like that was like a dig. I fired her that day. So it's like,
Yeah.
let me
Good
show you
for
about
you.
no.
Yeah.
But no, it was like obviously just like me. She was right. Like
Yeah.
that I did have trouble with no. But you're also like in the beginning, like you almost feel like you have to say yes to everything because you don't know where the opportunity is.
Yeah.
You haven't built anything yet. You're so grateful for what is happening and what's coming to you. Now you're seasoned and you're in it, so
And
like
I
you
still have
can
a hard time.
do
But,
you. What saying no to what? What would
Um,
someone ask you that?
or
you'd
just
be
like, I guess it's more so like getting taken advantage of. Putting a lot of so like one thing I came to realize is just because I have big aspirations and I have big goals and they have big dreams and I'm like, take on the world, we can do everything.
not
Not
their
everybody
goal.
feels the same.
I learned
Not
this
every-
yesterday.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
We did
Here
this
are.
like test run, and my
Yeah.
son said to me, he goes, "You're one of your worst qualities is not understanding that people don't dream big like you."
Mhm.
And I was like,
You know,
"Fuck
damn.
him."
And
you. But yeah, like I sorry
So,
to cut you off, but
yeah, so you invest so much of your time, your energy, your money. Like I have overpaid, and I'm like, oh, my bank account I thought would have like more in it than that, but no, like it just you spend and you just invest,
Yes.
right? Like
Yeah.
all of the things into people, and they just I want to say
you
like,
think
screw
you're
you over at
investing
the
because
end.
it's
You're-
only an investment
Yeah.
if it actually converts
Oh,
to
that's true.
like an asset,
Yeah.
right? Like you're just spending.
Yeah.
Like you're
Not
trying
enough
to
assets.
buy them
yeah.
or change them with money, but you're just kind of throwing money at
and
a
then
problem.
that's the other thing. I'm like, okay, maybe more money will be no.
No.
As much as people need it, and as much as
It's not
it
the
can attract
motivator.
people, like
Yeah.
it doesn't change. And
The
another
work
hard
ethic
lesson I
at all.
learned is it regardless of how much you can offer to somebody, like no one can change
The,
you
the
can't
kind of the
change people.
core
Like, they-
character.
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
they are
I
who
agree
they
with that.
are.
Yeah.
And even though they're like, oh, like they want to make changes and all of this, as much as you try and help, like it ain't happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You know
they
what?
got to do it for themselves. And I've just been burned
A lot.
lot.
I actually had an employee that was a long time employee say to me, they said it's becoming hard to work with you, and I was like, well, don't. You know, like I immediately get mad.
Yeah.
but
Well,
she
bye.
was like, you're like what you want, and like you want so big, you work so hard. She's like that, like you don't see or like pick up on the cues around you that like everybody ain't feeling the same way as you. And I was like, so like, what do you mean is hard? Like I'm hard to be around? Or and she was like, no, I guess I'm not like saying it right. It's that I don't think I could do that. So now it's affecting my confidence and my own self-esteem because you don't see that I'm not keeping up.
Right.
And I was like, ouch, like,
Yeah.
because I felt like I'm like hurting them. But I also like, is that a you issue?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
definitely.
you know, like I will pay for training, I will invest in you, I will
Yeah.
work with you, I will coach you, I will all those things. But some of the investment has to come from you. Like I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
just
that's it.
keep. It's not money.
They
Like
gotta put in the
throwing
work.
money at you to make it all make you better, make you great. Like
Yeah.
it comes from yourself. So that was really weird, and we sort of just decided to part ways.
Yeah.
And I don't know where. Oh, I hit the mic
Oh, no.
finally. 2 episodes in, I hit the mic.
The nail slick.
Yes, leave it in.
Just feel it.
But the peopling was where I was trying to take
Yeah.
that. I think the lessons are whether like client, coach, the bank, the landlord, like all the lessons for me are all people related.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about like learning technical or getting technical wrong or making a mistake, but like the people side of it, like there's always like something bad on the other side of
Yeah.
of it. And I find people in hard.
People. Yeah.
That'd be fine.
Peopling is very hard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We have a lot of like remote employees.
Oh,
So
do you?
there's- Yeah.
How does that go?
Well, you can't see them.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
You're
pros
like-
and cons. Like they just do like a lot of social media.
So is it
website
financial
stuff.
that you do remote employees? Like why do we do remote?
I just find I can't really find
What you
the
want
specific
here?
people that I need here. And then if you go on these different like
Fiverr,
Freelance,
whatever
yeah.
it is. Yep.
different freelancer platforms, there's
Someone's eager and
thousands.
ready to
Yeah.
work.
right.
That's
and
fair.
They want to work, and the great thing is lots of them are in a different time zone.
Mm-hmm.
So if I, make a Google Doc or whatever of what I need done, when I go to bed tonight, they're working on
It's
it.
like a
And then when I
cruise.
wake up,
You wake up, it's done.
Exactly.
It's a
done.
cruise.
Literally done. So it's perfect. And then they work for a little cheaper. Which
It
is
is
Yeah.
very
good, but-
cost effective,
yeah,
for
and
sure.
they're
Yeah.
Like
lot
easy to
more
work
hard
with.
working, to be honest. Some of
Yeah.
them. There's a lot that I'm like, oh, cancel contract. Like,
But you just try.
But
But
you just-
this is
yeah.
limited though.
Trying
Like,
there.
do you feel like in your business, like having, like we talk about you having your Madison?
yes,
you know, like-
medicine. I need my
Yeah.
medicine.
Me
It took me a long time to get her,
It depends
but
on what it is.
that
like-
she could not be remote. Like I will wheel
Yeah.
her in here on her deathbed.
and that's
to
what
make sure she's at work.
literally- I need me medicine for real.
Yeah.
But I do have, people that come in and do other tasks for me, and someone that fulfills orders. But I need me a right hand.
Yeah, because
so
everybody
everybody
for a job.
Right? Personal assistant.
yeah. Right.
That's
hand,
amazing.
Oh, for years I wanted like a personal assistant because I was like, you text when you're driving. And I'm like, I could get so much more done if I didn't have to drive
Yeah.
like 10
Yes,
hours a
so
day.
true.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Madison.
true.
I would never even want to call her like personal assistant or like
Yeah.
she runs my life.
You're right.
Yeah.
Like honestly,
Yes,
she
exactly.
does. But like when it started out, it was like, what are the things I hate that I have to do?
Mm-hmm.
Then I find somebody who has those strengths, and like we are exactly the same but polar opposite at the same time. And no is like her favorite word.
Yep.
So you're like,
In a good
I'm-
way, though.
no, for sure. Because
Yeah.
I'll be like, and she's like, no, no, you're not doing it. Don't you
No,
dare.
that's what you
Like
need,
it's
man.
Yes.
That's what you
you
need.
do.
Yeah.
Especially when you're the face of it, like you
Yeah.
still like you're trying to bring in business, be the
Mhm.
salesperson, and then the no person too. Like
Yeah.
it's a really hard dynamic
Mhm.
to continue to funnel the sales. Like I'd rather have that like people hate her, and she doesn't mind.
Yeah.
But how can they hate me and I still bring them
Yeah,
in? Like, it's a
exactly.
really weird dynamic to
do
make work.
They say, like, do the dirty work. I do have somebody at, like, because again, I have a hard time saying no or whatever, but they're like, no worries, I got it. I'm like, okay, thanks.
And sometimes you're so emotionally attached, which you shouldn't be,
Right.
and you feel bad saying no, or like, this person needs their finances,
100%.
and you're just like, well, I guess you can have an extra eyeshadow or whatever the situation is, right? But you need a Madison to be like, I don't
reel that shit out.
this is not what we do, right?
That's funny. Tell us some red flags that you like clients in whatever industry. I feel like they'd be different industry to industry, but that's me.
Yeah.
What are some obvious red flags that you look for, or that like you don't even need to look for? They're just glaring, and you're not taking this person on.
Yeah, like they're going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So again, I think my issue is that I take everything on.
So you see the red flag and you hear go.
I was like, oh, red flag, perfect. That means go, right? So it's funny because somebody told me yesterday, they're like, Ashley, you're going to heaven. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's good. So I just have a lot of clients that need a lot of extra help that most people wouldn't want to take on. Like, I've had clients in real estate that actually like one who came to me for financial stuff, but it kind of, again, intertwined and ended up being a real estate thing, and then vice versa. But they have, it was their parents' house. Nothing was ever cleaned out. So I don't want to use the word hoarder. However, we'll just
it's the only one I can think of
that's
that matches what it was.
Yeah, that's the definition.
Basically, that I have, thank God that I have the team, and it's not even like my team, but I mean, like, I have my people. So,
resources.
Like the same person I use for like junk removal, my same cleaner that I use all the time. Like, shout out to Tanya because she's bomb. And like they will.
Isn't a cleaner a gift to like an entrepreneur?
Yes,
just have
and
to say that.
She kills it, and she's so great, and she has a great team. And it's like they will go in, and she's like, "Nope, you don't need to keep that," because the clients always want to be like, "No, yeah, I think like we'll pack that and take it." She's like, "Nope, you have 5, you don't need them all." And so I just love it because it just helps, right?
Yeah.
Because people have a hard time with that. But yeah, I've had probably like 4 or 5 where I'm like, yesterday I posted a snap and I was like, oh, guess that my job description today is driving a 26-foot U-Haul to my client's house. Oh, and I backed it up like a boss.
There you
like,
go.
The driveway, like one shot. But it's like people who need that extra help who don't have a lot of family or friends to help them.
Yeah.
And I'm getting U-Haul boxes and I'm getting a U-Haul and I'm organizing the cleaning, and they pack everything and they'll label the boxes, and then I have the junk removal, and I'm like helping looking for an apartment. And
so it's just like all, because they know you do all of it.
Your commission up? And I was like, no, I know I should. I don't.
Do you set your commission as a real estate agent, or like,
yeah,
you set it? So
yeah,
the seller selling the house is like, do they decide what the buyer's agent is getting, or?
So typically that's kind of straight across the board, and
I need to know how
like
much my
in
people
all
get paid.
of so typically
asking for a friend again.
2%. It used to be like 2.5%, but it's typically 2% is what a buyer agent gets paid out.
Okay.
So for me, like I include professional staging. So I have my staging company, the same one that I use all the time. She comes in, she'll do the walkthrough, tell them what to pack away. We can either work with some of their furniture, or like if it's vacant, she brings everything in. But she just needs to bring in like some rugs and pillows and art. Like we call it like a fluff stage. But basically, like I just want the house to show the best that it can. I also get Tanya to come in and clean every listing, and then she cleans every move out after they're gone.
Oh, wow.
So it's all set for the buyers.
You have like a system.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
So now I do keep a little bit more just because that's, I'm also paying for all these. I'm like, if we're listing $4,000 or $5,000 before it even hits the market sometimes. Yeah.
I see, I see real estate expenses. So I'm aware. Yeah. Now, Do you like are your businesses separate? Like, do they have like they all incorporated, or are you just Ashley Patterson incorporated and everything's under
there's
that?
like Ashley Patterson Limited, and then like Patterson Group Contracting Limited.
Okay,
but the World Financial Group, that has to be personal. We can't,
because it's
incorporate that.
you're licensed.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Like the securities license.
So your taxes aren't complicated.
Oh no, not at all. So yeah, when I was going to St. Mary's, it's funny because like numbers were never my thing. I'm like, nope, here you go, take care of it. Just let me know what I got to do. I met one of my best friends. So we met in 2008. We're still best friends to this day. And she is now a chartered accountant. So she's a principal at a company in Halifax. And she used to do my taxes until I became incorporated. She's like, yeah, I'm out. I was like, fair enough.
That's funny. Yeah, I think people don't know that about accountants, that like they have an area of specialty and they don't do all things. And I sat down, a guy booked a meeting yesterday and he comes in, he has all this investment stuff. I was like, dude, I don't know what I'm reading. Jonah is investment stuff. I'm tax. We have bookkeepers. Like everybody has their area of expertise, and I think it's so much better that way. Like obviously he didn't get all the information he was looking for in that meeting, but I'd rather be great at a couple of things than mediocre at everything. Yeah. But they assume that all accountants. So I do a lot of accountants' taxes, and they're often like, don't tell anybody. Like, I want to meet at your house, not your office. Drive by, drop off. Like, they're always so funny about it. But I have tons of accounting clients because that's just not what they specialize in. Like, it's really broad. So, anyways, everybody should not do their incorporated taxes on their own. Yes, right? There you go. That's it. Yeah, personal taxes I feel differently about, but once you enter the business equation,
corporation,
you're like, what did you just tell me what to do?
And she does U.S. tax now, so I'm like,
she's a billionaire because there's very few in Nova Scotia that are do U.S. tax.
Good friends both do U.S. tax.
Oh, that's where there is some major money in U.S. tax.
Why? Like what's it
like now?
Because it's a specific licensing. Like I can't just go file U.S. taxes. Like you've got to be registered with the IRS and then like have your certifications through them. And then there's dual citizenship and you got to know Canadian and U.S. tax. Like it's very complicated, and you probably can't get a personal U.S. tax return for less than $500 or $600. Like it's money. Even more? Yeah, probably even more. So whereas like you can go, to a small firm like mine and get your like Canadian taxes done for like $120. Yeah. So just to put in perspective, like, the same thing for 5 times the price. Yeah. US tax is crazy. All right. So in kind of closing this off, if you were to leave us with like a little gem, maybe like the same question your clients, it just kind of comes up over and over and over. It can be real estate, it's got to be financial though. Mm-hmm. What could a takeaway for our clients around all things that Ashley Patterson does?
All the things.
All the things. You for real.
I think like genuinely. And I think it kind of goes back to like when I wanted to do my master's in psychology and I wanted to be a psychologist. I just love helping people. I just think this is a bit more happier than that route. So
that's fair. But you really use it though, right? Like when you led with that, I meant to jump in and say like, what a great way. Cause I'm not huge on like, you must go to university. Mm-hmm. But like learning the people thing when you deal with people all day, every day.
Yeah.
So you like understand
I was
sort of how they tick.
I use that degree every day.
I think I think you do too. I really do.
So 55,000 wasn't a waste after all.
Isn't it wild? Did you pay for yourself to go through, or did you student loans?
Yeah, student loans. Yeah,
same. I just paid mine off like 2 years ago. Do you have student loans?
Yes. Yeah.
They're the devil.
But they are.
God love like the no interest though. Now my grandfather did pay, God rest his soul,
did you have a little bit?
For like the first semester of my first year. Or did he pay my whole year? I think the first semester.
My grandpa took me to the bookstore and bought my books in the first year.
Right? Stop.
With a little backpack. He told me off the whole time. Like, clearly an apple doesn't fall far, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we have one more little segment that we do at the end of the show. It's called Serious or Nah. And we're going to kind of rapid fire questions at you. Not like a huge explanation, just like serious, yes or no. Like serious is yes. All right. So building 5 streams of income before mastering one. Serious or nah?
Yeah.
Like, just go for it. Who
Go for
cares?
it.
Yeah, I think so too. No, I'm jumping. I thought I was going to be a builder and Airbnb, but I'm not going to go sell the Airbnb because I can't do it. Like,
Exactly.
you know, I'm going to figure it out, but I still have 800 other businesses that, I think
You're like,
jump.
I got
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Well, because this is the thing. And actually somebody asked me something today and I said, well, you won't know unless you ask.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
You won't know unless you try.
that's it.
exactly.
So it's just like, okay, well, the house is $650. Well, do you think they'll take $525?
They'll only say no.
Probably not, but we
We
won't
were
know until we
talking about
ask.
that.
Exactly.
The only time you know.
All the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All it took
Yeah.
was me to turn on the heat to know I wasn't going to be a builder. Like, you don't know.
And actually, like, I had this say ex-friend, but she told me one time, this was before I got licensed in life insurance and securities. We were having lunch and I told her I was going to do it. She's like, are you sure you want to do that? And I was like, yeah, actually I am.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing it twice.
Believe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Rude.
I hate that. I hate that. I kind of have a friend that, like, right now we're entering that weirdo territory where, like, anything I say is met with, like, really? Are you sure? You got a lot on your plate. You don't even know what you're doing. You know what he actually said to me about the real estate agent thing? He said something along the lines of, oh, we're going to have to bleep this out. But he said, because I had a little conflict between real estate agents, because I work with a lot of them. He said, you opened your legs to too many real estate agents, like, as the analogy for working with a lot, but I work with a lot in what I do.
Yeah.
So it
You
got
wanna spread the
hella
love.
weird.
You're just trying to spread the
No,
love.
but it had never been, no, that shit, like, was crazy.
But I
That
just,
was-
like, for people, like, some of my like my other friends, my family, like, they're just so supportive of everything. And it's like, well, you know what? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I won't know until I try.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm only trying to do better for you guys too. So
You want that check, don't you? Yeah. I don't like that negative energy
No.
vibe. Like,
Yes,
you
it's
go
just-
fix yourself and we'll talk later.
yeah, like I really, I guess coming into like my 40s, it took me a long time to love myself. Like I probably
Same.
didn't love myself till I was like 39.
I'm right there with you. Like,
Yeah.
36, 37,
Yeah.
I really figured it out.
And I still have the like saying no issue, but also I think I do.
It still
set
comes
more
from love
boundaries.
too, though.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
it's
you just, if you're just a loving person, like, you're not so much picking them over yourself, which in like my earlier years personally, that's where the no problem was, because I would be down for you to be up.
Yeah.
But now, like, if I can help you and I'm not down, or I'm all right, like, it's not so much about, the self-love piece where like I am just trying to help, and it doesn't hurt me the way it used to.
Yeah. So kind of, I just said
That was really good and short, like we said it would be.
Right? I was like, oh, super short segment.
Yeah.
All right.
Question 2.
Next one is hustle culture being toxic but necessary.
Oof.
Serious or not?
So wait, okay, hold on. Sorry. I don't think I understand.
Okay, so if you agree, like, if you like the statement, it's serious. Yes. If you don't like the statement, like, hustle being considered toxic, like, no, like, it's
like
to
people
each
get,
his
like,
own.
separate
To each
toxic?
yeah, I get that all the time. People, the wellness people that are like,
Oh.
you're pushing,
Yeah,
a
like you're
100-hour
hustling
work
2 hours
week.
hard or something.
Okay, well then I'll work 2 hours a week and we can go be broke together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I like money. So it's your own perception of the statement.
Yeah.
That's all. So
seriously.
you want to say it again?
Yeah.
Hustle culture being toxic but necessary.
Serious. Or wait, is that what
No,
was
I'd say
said?
no. I'd say no. So
I'm like, yeah, I'm like,
because hustle culture, that's all right. Hustle culture. Why does it have to be toxic? Because
Yeah.
it says be toxic but necessary. No, like, I
No.
can hustle and it not be
Yeah,
toxic.
why is it? Yeah, why is
Yeah,
it
I
toxic?
like working hard.
Yes.
Why is it toxic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Just-
people think
okay.
it's toxic.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
it was a
let's do that again.
mouthful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
One more time.
We'll
Run
do
it
that
back.
Okay. Hustle culture being toxic but necessary. Serious or not?
No. It's like, don't come at me because you don't have the hustle in you. I have it in me.
There you go. Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
Like, you can have that opinion. It just doesn't need to be put
Yeah.
on me. I like it.
Exactly.
Posting your earnings online to attract clients. Serious or not?
No.
You might not post dollar figures, but
No,
like,
but
we
I-
see the fits. We see. like you're
There's
not
signs.
broke.
There are signs. Yeah.
They could go on Viewpoint and see what it's sold for and try to figure it out.
There we go.
Yeah,
So,
but
I
I did see, okay, sorry, I know it's supposed to be short, but I did see someone post how much real estate they sold, which I was actually thinking about doing
I
at the
think
end of the
that's
year. Because it does kind of show, oh, like she's a good agent.
it's
because
public
she's
information
experienced.
too,
Yeah,
to be
it's public
honest.
information.
So
But yeah, I would never be like, oh, I made $500,000.
Yeah.
kind of thing, right?
yeah,
So,
no, there's a way to present it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
like we
Yeah.
get our awards, and they're based on like
Volume,
your awards
yeah.
different based on like your gross commission.
Yeah.
But nobody really, like the public wouldn't know what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right. So crypto as a retirement plan, serious or no?
No.
No.
No, that's a
Definitely not.
joke.
Do you do crypto?
No.
Crypto
No.
at all?
I have
No.
a friend that's really into it. Like auto, like it confuses me.
I
Like,
don't even. No.
I'm still like training in investments and stuff. So my
Gotcha.
broker does all my things, but
Fair.
I wouldn't rely on crypto now.
Yeah, no.
Going broke to buy real estate, serious or not?
No.
Definitely not. You're gonna lose it anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like you buy it,
I'm
and
like,
you gotta
it's
sell
just
it.
It's just gonna get repossessed.
Right?
You're buying it for the bank.
Yeah.
Your partner must match your ambition, serious or no?
If not, they need to be supportive.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can like
Yep.
if you're too alike. But yeah, no, as long as you're supportive.
Very true.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Skipping brunch to invest instead. So kind of work
Ooh.
over eat.
So I know. It's like, can't you just do both?
Right?
Work while I eat.
Yeah. That can be our business meeting. We need it, right?
Oh, business. Oh yeah, entrepreneur life. Business lunches are like the thing.
Absolutely.
He's right on
Yeah.
too.
Like,
Absolutely.
let's talk about it over lunch.
Cardi B's money mindset versus Nicki Minaj's
Oh,
money mindset. Serious or not?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Who do you pick? Who do you like? Who team?
I think Nikki.
Team
She's
Nicki?
old school.
Yeah.
Nicki.
I
Old
agree.
school.
I agree. I agree from
The
a
dome days.
music perspective,
Yeah.
but I do like Cardi B
Yeah.
a lot. I fuck with Cardi.
They
B.
Yeah.
both have their
Cardi
like,
B, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decorating for Christmas before November or on or before November 1st, serious or not?
No, you gotta wait till after the 11th.
Do you just say that? Like to me?
You're like, did you
I don't post it before the 11th.
Yeah.
I gotta do it on the 11th because
That's
it's kind of a day off. Isn't it the only day? Well, your other industries, you're allowed to
That's-
work, but you're not allowed to work in real estate.
Yep, that's the only day.
Only day. So
Now, I won't lie. I do maybe have a tree up year round. I just leave it there. It's white. It's
Fucking
pretty.
awesome.
Don't blame it. Why not? Why take it down if you're just going to put it back up?
fair. And you have a big ass house. So
Yeah.
All right, having a money therapist. Serious or
Isn't
no?
that like a
accountant?
I would
Yeah.
say, yeah.
Your
You better
financial-
say
yeah.
serious.
So you're asking the financial advisor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very necessary.
Especially if you're not financially savvy.
Yes.
If it's the thing you suck at, you need help. If,
Yeah.
if you can do it, but if you're scared, you're stressed, CRA's calling,
the
like,
thing.
get the help.
Like people are. I had this. Sorry, I'm just
Okay.
examples fire. But I had someone come in and she was like shaking. And she's like, I might cry. And I'm like, that's okay. Like finances freak people out.
Yeah.
And then she messaged me and she's like, thank you so much for our meeting. Like, I feel so much better. It's like way less scary. Because once you have everything out on the table, then it's just kind of like, it can be scary. But look, this, you know, when you provide a solution, because if you have these issues and you need a solution, well, you're not going to know until you go.
That's it.
right.
It doesn't get better on its own.
Nope.
Like it really snowballs, and it really only gets worse. Like CRA can take a lot from you.
Yeah.
Start
So-
garnishing your wages.
Oh
you're
God,
done.
you don't want that. We want to thank you so much,
Oh,
Ashley, for joining
yes.
us today. This is
Thank
only
you.
our second episode, so you'll have to come back when we know what we're doing.
Yes.
It
love
was
it.
absolutely amazing.
I
to
was
have you.
honored. I was like telling my mom, and I was like, I'm so excited. I'm like, she's such a boss. I couldn't believe she asked me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.